You're watching Dark Terror Files, where the stories aren't just told, they linger. Where are you listening from? Alone in your room, driving through the dark. Drop a comment. I want to know who's out there. The ER at St. Augustine Medical Center smells like antiseptic and despair. A sharp tang that clings to my scrubs no matter how many times I wash them. It's 2:14 a.m., February 2020. And the snow outside is piling up so thick, it's like the world's trying to bury us. I'm on my third double shift this week. Not because I need the money, but because the silence of my empty apartment is worse than the chaos here. My name's Evelyn Hart. I'm 34, and I've been an ER nurse for a decade. I'm good at it, calm under pressure, quick with an IV, steady when the monitors scream. But tonight, something's off. The air feels heavy, like it's holding its breath. The ambulance bay doors hiss open, letting in a blast of icy wind. Two paramedics wheel in a John Doe, their faces grim under the fluorescent lights. Male, late 50s, found unresponsive in an alley off Market Street. One of them says, voice clipped, no pulse, no respirations. We worked him for 20 minutes. Nothing. I nod, already moving to the trauma bay. My sneakers squeaking on the linoleum. The patient's skin is gray, lips blue, eyes half open and cloudy. He's gone. No question. Dr. Patel, the attending, calls it after a cursory check time of death. 2:14 a.m. Just another night in the ER. I'm tasked with the post-mortem checks. It's routine. Clean the body, tag it, chart the vitals or lack thereof. I lean over to check his pupils, my pen light casting a weak glow across his face. His eyes are fixed, dilated. No response. I'm about to pull back when his lips part. Just a fraction, and a rasp escapes. Nathan's waiting for you. Evelyn. He knows you didn't mean to leave him. My heart slams against my ribs. Nathan, my son. 4 years ago, he drowned in Lake Erie while I was on a call with my ex-husband, arguing about bills. I looked away for 2 minutes, and he was gone. I never told anyone I was on the phone. Not the police, not my therapist, not even myself in the moments I can bear to think about it. The pen light slips from my hand, clattering to the floor. I stare at the man's face, waiting for another sign, but he's still lifeless as before. The monitors are silent, the ECG flat. I'm alone in the bay. The other nurses at the station, their voices a distant murmur. I must have imagined it. I haven't slept in 36 hours. The Ambien in my locker isn't cutting it anymore. I step back, my breath shallow, and check his chart again. No name, no ID, just John Doe, DOA. My hands shake as I write the time of death. My signature a scrawl. The lights overhead buzz, flickering just enough to make my skin crawl. I glance at the body again, half expecting those eyes to move. They don't, but the air feels colder, like the snow's seeping through the walls. I pull the curtain around the bay and head for the nurse's station, telling myself it's just exhaustion. Grief does funny things to your head. But as I walk away, I swear I hear it a faint whisper, barely audible over the hum of the hospital. Evelyn. Back at the nurse's station, I pour myself a coffee, the kind that tastes like burnt regret. The other nurses are charting or gossiping about the new resident's bad haircut. No one notices I'm shaking. I keep replaying the whisper. The way he said Nathan, like he'd known him. Known me. I try to focus on the paperwork, but my eyes keep darting to the trauma bay curtain, half expecting it to move. It doesn't, but the feeling of being watched crawls up my spine. I shouldn't go back. I should finish my notes, clock out, and drive home through the snow. But I can't. Not after hearing his name. I slip back into the bay, the curtain rustling as I pull it aside. The body's still there, sheet pulled up to his chin, exactly as I left him. The ECG is unplugged now, the screen dark. I lean in, closer than I should, my breath fogging in the chilly air. His lips are still, blue and cracked. I'm about to turn away when they twitch, just a flicker, like a moth's wing. Evelyn Marie Whitaker, he murmurs, voice dry as dead leaves. I stumble back, knocking over a tray of instruments. The crash echoes, but no one comes running. Evelyn Marie Whitaker, my maiden name. The one I buried when I married Tom, when life still made sense. I haven't heard it in years. Not since the divorce papers. My chest tightens, and I check the monitors again. Even though they're off, nothing. No pulse, no breath, no life. But his lips move again, slower this time. You can't run from it. The words are clear, deliberate, like he's been saving them. I'm losing it. I have to be. 4 years of guilt. 4 years of nightmares. It's finally cracking me open. I grab the chart, flipping through it for something. Anything to ground me. It's still blank. Just the basics. Male. DOA. No known history. But at the bottom, in my handwriting, there's a note I don't remember writing. Patient spoke at 2:16 a.m. My stomach lurches. I didn't write that. I couldn't have. I glance at the body, and his head tilts slightly, like he's listening. The lights flicker again, longer this time, plunging the bay into shadow for a heartbeat. When they come back on, his eyes are open, staring right at me. Not cloudy anymore, just black, endless, like the lake that took Nathan. I bolt from the bay, my sneakers skidding on the floor. At the nurse's station, I grab Sarah, the charge nurse, and drag her to the security office. I need to see the tape, I say, my voice too high. She frowns but follows. The guard pulls up the footage from Trauma Bay 1. There I am, leaning over the body, my pen light shaking. But in the corner, just for a frame, there's another figure me, standing still, watching myself. The guard rewinds, but it's gone. You were alone, Evie, he says, scratching his head. Tape's clean. I stare at the screen, my reflection in the monitor looking too pale, too wrong. Behind me, the hospital hums, but all I hear is the echo of my own name, spoken by a dead man. The security office feels like a coffin, all gray walls and flickering monitors. Sarah and the guard are still arguing about the footage, their voices a dull hum under the pounding in my ears. I'm back in Trauma Bay 1 before I realize I've moved. My hands clenching the curtain so hard my knuckles ache. The John Doe lies there, sheet crisp, body still. His eyes are closed again. Thank God. But I can't shake the image of them black, bottomless, like the lake where Nathan slipped away. I'm not crazy. I'm not. But my head's a mess, and the Ambien haze isn't helping. I haven't slept more than 3 hours a night since the divorce. Since the pills I took one night when the guilt got too heavy. Nobody knows about that. Nobody. I force myself closer, my breath shallow. The air in the bay sharp with cold, and something else, something metallic, like blood or rust. The chart still on the tray, that impossible note in my handwriting staring up at me. Patient spoke at 2:16 a.m. I rip it out, crumple it, shove it in my pocket. I'm not losing it. I'm not. I lean over the body, my pen light shaking as I check his vitals again. Pointless as it is, no pulse, no breath, skin like ice. But then his lips part, slow, deliberate, and his voice crawls out, a dry whisper that cuts through the hum of the hospital. The pills didn't work. Did they? Evelyn, you thought Nathan would forgive you. I stagger back, my hips slamming into the crash cart. The tray rattles, a scalpel clattering to the floor. My suicide attempt 2 years ago, alone in my bathroom, a bottle of Ambien and half a glass of wine. I stopped myself before it went too far, flushed the rest, told no one, not Tom, not my therapist, not even the priest I saw once before I gave up on God. How does he know? My eyes dart to the curtain, half expecting Sarah to burst in, but the ER's quiet, too quiet. The usual chaos muted like the snows swallowed it all. I look back at the body, his face unchanged, lips still, but I heard it. I know I did. I grabbed the chart again, flipping through it for answers. It's still blank John Doe. No ID, no history, but there's a smudge on the corner, like a fingerprint in ink or blood. I touch it, and it's wet, staining my glove red. My stomach twists. I glance at the body, and his hand twitches. Just a flicker, fingers curling like they're reaching for me. I drop the chart, my breath hitching. The lights overhead buzz, dimming for a second, and in that flicker, I swear his head tilts toward me, eyes still closed but somehow seeing. You can't hide it, he whispers, voice softer now, almost pitying. Nathan knows. I'm out of the bay before I can think, my sneakers slapping the linoleum. I don't care who sees me running. The nurse's station is empty now. Coffee cups abandoned, charts scattered. The clock on the wall reads 2:14 a.m. Same as always. I don't know how long I've been here, but it feels like forever. My hands still trembling. The red smudge on my glove catching the light. I scrub it off in the sink, the water running pink, and tell myself it's just ink, just a trick of my mind. But the whisper lingers, and so does the weight of Nathan's name, heavy as the lake that took him. I'm back in the security office, my hands gripping the edge of the desk so I don't collapse. The guard, Mike, is half asleep, his coffee cold in a styrofoam cup. Sarah's gone back to her rounds, muttering about me needing a break. I don't care. I need to see that tape again. Need to know I'm not imagining things. Pull up Trauma Bay 1, I say, my voice sharper than I mean it to be. Mike grumbles but complies, his fingers slow on the keyboard. The monitor flickers, and there I am. 2:16 a.m. Leaning over the John Doe with my pen light. My face looks wrong, too pale, eyes too wide, like I'm already half gone. I watch myself check his pupils, see the moment I drop the penlight, hear the faint clatter through the grainy audio. Then I see it. In the corner of the frame, barely visible, there's another figure. It's me, same scrubs, same messy bun, same tired slump in my shoulders. But this other Evelyn isn't moving. She's just standing there, staring at the me on the tape, her face blank, eyes locked on the camera. My stomach lurches. Rewind. I snap. Mike does. But when the tape loops, the second figure's gone. Just me, alone with the body, the curtain swaying slightly like someone brushed past it. You were alone, Evie, Mike says, scratching his beard. Nobody else was in there. Camera's acting up. Maybe. This place is old. I don't answer. I can't. My reflection in the monitor looks wrong again, like it's not quite mine. I lean closer, and for a split second, I swear I see her, the other Evelyn, behind me in the glass. Her head tilted just like the John Doe's. I spin around, but the office is empty. Just Mike and his coffee and the hum of the hospital. My heart's pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. Run it again, I say. Quieter now. He sighs but does it. This time, the tape's clean, no second figure. No nothing. Just me, looking like a ghost over a dead man's body. I stumble back to the ER. The hallway's too long. The lights too dim. The snow outside is still falling. Or maybe it's stopped, I can't tell anymore. The nurse's station is still empty. The clock's still stuck at 2:14. I check my phone. But the screen's frozen. The time unchanging. My pocket crinkles, and I pull out the crumpled chart page. The one with my handwriting. The note's still there. Patient spoke at 2:16 a.m., but below it, in the same red smudge as before, there's a new line, jagged and uneven. You're not alone. I drop it like it's burning, and it flutters to the floor, landing next to a wet footprint, small and bare, like a child's. Like Nathan's. The ER is a tomb tonight. The usual chaos smothered under the weight of the snowstorm outside. I'm standing by the nurse's station, staring at the crumpled chart page on the floor. The red smudge screaming, "You're not alone," in my own jagged handwriting. That footprint small, wet, bare, like Nathan's after he'd run through the grass to the lake, makes my chest ache. I kick the paper under the desk, my hands shaking as I try to steady myself with a sip of cold coffee. It tastes like ash. I need to focus, need to do my job, but the image of that second Evelyn on the security tape is burned into my head. And those whispers, Nathan's name, my secrets. I'm not crazy. I can't be. Doctor, Patel's voice snaps me back, barking orders to move the John Doe to the morgue. Evelyn, you good? He asks, his eyes narrowing. I nod, too quick, and grab the paperwork to avoid his stare. The morgue's in the basement, down a flickering hallway that smells like damp concrete and regret. I wheel the body down myself, the gurney's wheels squeaking, the sheet slipping to reveal the John Doe's gray hand, fingers curled like they're still reaching. The elevator groans as it descends, and I swear the air gets colder, heavier, like I'm sinking into the lake with Nathan. I shake my head, hard. Focus. Evelyn. In the morgue, I slide the body into drawer 7, the metal screeching as it seals shut. I mark the tag John Doe, DOA, 14 a.m. and head back upstairs. My sneakers leaving damp prints on the tiles. The ER's still quiet. Too quiet. The other nurses moving like ghosts between bays. I'm about to start my rounds when a monitor beeps from bed 3. A steady rhythm that shouldn't be there. I freeze. Bed 3 was empty an hour ago. I force myself to walk over, my pulse hammering, and pull back the curtain. He's there, the John Doe, sitting upright, his cloudy eyes fixed on a chart in his hands. Not just any chart, Nathan's autopsy report. The one I've never had the courage to read. The paper's yellowed, dated 4 years ago, listing drowning, accidental in cold clinical terms. His lips curl, not quite a smile, and he says, "You can't hide from him forever. Evelyn." My knees buckle, and I grab the bed rail to stay upright. The monitor's flat now. No heartbeat. No nothing. But he's sitting there, alive in a way that's all wrong. His voice is calm, almost gentle, but it cuts like a blade. Nathan's waiting. I back away, the curtain snagging on my scrubs. "You're dead," I whisper, my voice breaking. He tilts his head, those black eyes boring into me. "So are you," he says, and the chart in his hands shifts. The name at the top now reading Evelyn Hart. I run, my sneakers slipping, the hallway stretching longer than it should. I don't look back, but I feel him watching, feel the weight of those words sinking into my bones. The elevator to the morgue is still open when I pass it, and I swear I hear the screech of drawer 7 sliding open again. I'm back at the nurse's station, my hands gripping the counter to keep from shaking apart. The clock on the wall still reads 2:14 a.m., the second hand frozen, mocking me. The ER's empty now. No nurses, no patients, just the hum of the lights and the snow pressing against the windows. My phone's useless, the screen stuck on the same time. The same text from an unknown number. "You're already with us." I delete it, but it reappears, the words glowing brighter. I shove the phone in my pocket and focus on the paperwork. Anything to anchor me. That's when I see it, a death certificate, tucked under a stack of charts. The paper crisp and new. I pull it out, my fingers numb. Evelyn Hart, deceased, 2:14 a.m., cause unknown. My signature's at the bottom, the same looping scrawl I've used for years. But I didn't write this. I'd remember. My breath catches, and I flip through the stack, finding nothing else out of place. Just routine intake forms and med orders. The certificate feels heavy, like it's pulling me down. I tear it in half, then in quarters, and stuff the pieces in the trash. My hands are still red from the smudge on the John Doe's chart, and I scrub them in the sink until my skin burns. But the stain won't come off. A crash from Trauma Bay 1 makes me jump. I grab a flashlight. Half the lights are flickering now and head back, my heart in my throat. The bay's empty, the gurney bare, the sheet crumpled on the floor. But the chart's there, open to Nathan's autopsy report, and next to it, a new page in my handwriting. Evelyn Hart, admitted 2:14 a.m. Condition critical. I drop the flashlight, the beam spinning across the floor, catching a glint of something wet, another footprint, small and bare, leading toward the basement stairs. I don't want to follow, but my feet move anyway, the flashlight shaking in my hand. The stairwell's dark, the air thick with that same metallic smell. like blood or rust. At the bottom, the door to the old psychiatric ward room B13, sealed since the 70s, is ajar. A faint beep echoes from inside. Like a panic button, no one's answered. I push the door open, and the smell hits me harder. Damp earth and copper, like a grave. On the wall, a rusted chart holder holds a single file. James Whitaker, deceased 1976. Suicide. The name stops me cold, my father's name. Dead before I was born. His face a blur in old photos. But the photo clipped to the chart isn't my father. It's the John Doe, his cloudy eyes staring out, a faint smile on his lips. I back away, the flashlight beam trembling, and trip over something soft. It's Nathan's toy, a stuffed bear, soaked with lake water, its button eyes glinting in the dark. I clutch it, my vision blurring, and hear his voice again, faint but clear. "Mommy, come find me." The panic button beeps again, louder, and the door to B13 slams shut behind me. The door to room B13 slams shut, and the sound echoes like a gunshot in the dark. My flashlight beam shakes, catching the glint of Nathan's stuffed bear in my hand. Its fur heavy with lake water, dripping onto the tiles. The panic button's beep pulses through the air, steady and insistent, coming from inside the sealed psychiatric ward. I shouldn't be here, saying. Augustine's basement has been off-limits since the 70s, when a patient riot left blood on these walls, or so the old nurses whisper during slow shifts. But the chart on the wall, with James Whitaker scrawled across it, and that photo, the John Doe's face, not my father's, has my heart pounding so hard I can barely breathe. The beep grows louder, like a heartbeat, and I know I can't walk away. I push the door open again, the hinges groaning like they're in pain. The air inside is thick, damp, smelling of earth and copper, like a grave left open too long. My flashlight cuts through the dark, illuminating peeling paint and rusted bed frames, relics of the old psych ward. The panic button's signal leads me to a corner, where a dusty call box blinks red, its wire dangling, unplugged, impossible. I press it anyway, and the beeping stops, replaced by a low hum, like a voice just out of reach. I turn, and my beam lands on a chart dangling from a bed frame. The name, Edward Crane, deceased 1976, suicide. The photo clipped to it is the John Doe again, his cloudy eyes staring through me, that faint smile sharper now. I stumble back, the bear slipping from my hand, splashing in a puddle that shouldn't be there. The chart's details swim in my vision. Crane, admitted for schizophrenia, found hanging in this room, but the handwriting at the bottom is mine. Dated 2:14 a.m. Today, patient discharged to eternity. My stomach twists, and I hear it again, Nathan's voice, faint, filtering through the walls. "Mommy, don't leave me." It's coming from the far wall, where a crack runs floor to ceiling, leaking a faint, sickly light. I want to run, but my feet move toward it. The bear left behind in the puddle, its button eyes watching. The crack pulses like it's breathing, and the air grows colder, my breath fogging in front of me. I touch the wall, and it's wet, slimy, like the lake's surface. The chart in my hand trembles, and when I look down, the name's changed. Evelyn Hart, admitted 2:14 a.m. I drop it, the pages scattering, and the panic button beeps again. Louder, faster, like it's calling me. I turn to run, but the door's gone, the wall solid behind me. The only way out is through that crack, where Nathan's voice is louder now, singing a lullaby I used to hum to him. My flashlight flickers, and in its dying light, I see the John Doe's face in the crack, his lips moving, whispering my name. I'm back in the morgue before I know how I got here. My flashlight dead, the bear gone. The basement hallway is a maze of flickering lights and damp tiles. The smell of copper so strong it coats my tongue. I must have run from B13, but the memory's a blur, like a dream slipping away. My scrubs are wet, clinging to my skin, and my hands are stained red again. The smudge from the chart, now a streak across my palm. The morgue's door is open, a sliver of cold light spilling out, and I hear it a faint, rhythmic sound, like breathing, coming from inside. I don't want to go in. Every instinct screams to run upstairs, to find Sarah or Patel or anyone who can tell me I'm not losing it. But Nathan's voice is still in my head, that lullaby looping, pulling me forward. I step inside, the air so cold it burns my lungs. The morgue's drawers line the walls, steel gleaming under the fluorescent hum. Drawer 7, where I left the John Doe, is closed, but the breathing's coming from there, steady, deliberate. I check the tag John Doe, DOA, 2:14 a.m. and my signature's there, but it's smudged, like someone dragged a bloody thumb across it. My hand shakes as I grip the handle. I don't want to open it, but I have to know. I pull, the drawer sliding out with a screech that echoes in the silence. It's empty. No body, no sheet, just smooth, cold steel. But the breathing's louder now, and condensation forms on the drawer surface, like someone's exhaling in the freezing air. I lean closer, my heart hammering, and a whisper slithers out, soft but clear. You left him to drown. Evelyn. I slam the drawer shut, the sound deafening, but the breathing doesn't stop. It's everywhere now. In the walls, the floor, my own chest. I stumble back, tripping over a tray, instruments clattering to the ground. The lights flicker, plunging the morgue into darkness for a heartbeat. When they come back, the drawers open again, just a crack, and a hand gray, lifeless. The John Doe's curls around the edge. I scream, but my voice is swallowed by the hum of the hospital, the breathing growing louder, faster. I run for the door, but it slams shut, the lock clicking. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I fumble it out, the screen glowing with that same text. You're already with us. Below it, a new message. Look behind you. I don't want to look, but I do. The morgue's empty, the drawer closed again. But the air's wrong, heavy, like it's watching me. On the floor, in the corner, is Nathan's bear, soaked. A trail of water leading back to drawer 7. I grab it, the wet fur cold against my skin, and the breathing stops. But the silence is worse, thick with the promise of something waiting. I clutch the bear and run, the hallway stretching endlessly, the stairs to the ER nowhere in sight. Behind me, I hear it, the soft, wet slap of bare feet, small and familiar, following me into the dark. The morgue door slams behind me, but the hallway doesn't feel like escape. It's a trap. The walls too close. The air thick with that coppery stench, like blood pooling somewhere I can't see. Nathan's stuffed bear is clutched in my hand, its wet fur soaking through my scrubs, the button eyes glinting under the flickering lights. The sound of those small, wet footsteps, Nathan's footsteps, follows me, faint but relentless, slapping against the tiles. I don't look back. I can't. My flashlight's dead, but the hallway's dim glow is enough to show the way. Or maybe it's leading me somewhere I don't want to go. I'm halfway to the stairs when a figure steps out of the shadows, blocking my path. It's an old man. His white coat crisp but outdated, like something from a 70s medical drama. His name tag reads Dr. Amos Klein, MD. But I know that name he retired decades ago, before I was even born. His eyes are sunken, his hands trembling as he grips a clipboard, its pages blank but stained with that same red smudge I can't wash off my hands. "Evelyn," he says, voice like gravel. "You shouldn't be down here. They're not ghosts. They're sentinels." I freeze, my breath fogging in the cold. "Who's they?" I ask, but my voice is barely a whisper. He steps closer, and I smell it damp earth, like the psych ward, like a grave. "The ones who stay," he says. "This hospital's built on a rift, a tier between here and somewhere else. The dead don't leave. They guard it, and they want you." His eyes flick to the bear in my hand, and his face softens. Just for a second. They always want the ones who owe. "Oh," I choke out, my mind racing. Nathan's face flashes in my head, his smile, his tiny hands, the way he called me mommy before the lake took him. Klein's voice hardens. "You left him. They know. They'll take you, or someone else, to balance the scales." He points down the hall, toward the psych ward's door, still ajar. That sickly light leaking out. The rift's down there. They're waiting for you to choose. I shake my head, backing away. The bear's wet fur slipping in my grip. "I didn't mean to," I say, but the words feel hollow, like they've been hollow for 4 years. Klein's eyes narrow, and he steps closer, his shadow stretching too long, too wrong. They don't care about mean to, they care about debts. The footsteps behind me stop, and the silence is worse, heavy with the weight of something watching. I turn, but there's nothing, just the hallway, endless and dark. The psych ward door pulsing like a heartbeat. Klein's gone when I look back, his clipboard on the floor. The pages now filled with names, dozens, hundreds, all dated 1976, all marked deceased. My name's at the bottom, in my handwriting, with 2:14 a.m. scrawled next to it. I drop the bear, my hands shaking, and run for the stairs, but they're gone. The hallway looping back to the psych ward door. Nathan's voice hums through the walls, singing that lullaby, and I know I can't outrun it. The sentinels are waiting, and they know my name. I don't know how I end up back in the ER, but I'm here, gasping, my scrubs damp with lake water and sweat. The nurse's station is deserted, coffee cups tipped over, charts scattered like someone left in a hurry. The clock on the wall reads 2:14 a.m. The second hand stuck, trembling like it's trying to move but can't. I check my phone, 2:14. The digital clock above the trauma bay 2:14. Even the microwave in the break room, blinking through a power flicker, reads 2:14. Time stopped. Or maybe I have, trapped in this moment that won't let me go. The snow outside isn't falling anymore. I press my hand to the window, the glass so cold it burns, and see the flakes suspended in the air, like they're caught in a photograph. The streetlights are dim, the world beyond the hospital a blur of white and shadow. I haven't seen daylight in what feels like days, but my shift should have ended hours ago. My head's spinning, the ambient fog mixing with the dread clawing at my chest. Nathan's bear is still in my hand. How did I pick it up again? Its fur dripping, leaving a trail of water across the floor. I move to Trauma Bay 1, drawn like a moth to a flame. The curtains open, the gurney empty, but the John Doe's chart is there, open to a new page. It's my handwriting again. Evelyn Hart, condition critical, 2:14 a.m. Below it, a single line. The rift is open. I drop the chart, my hands numb, and the lights flicker, plunging the bay into darkness. When they come back, the chart's gone, but the monitor's on, flatlining. The sound, a steady scream in the silence. I turn it off, but it beeps again, louder, like it's calling something. I stumble to the nurse's station, desperate for someone. Anyone, Sarah. Patel. Even Mike. But the ER's empty. The hallway's too long. The door's leading nowhere. My phone buzzes, and I pull it out. The screen glowing with a new text. You can't leave until you choose. I delete it, but it reappears, the words pulsing. The bear in my hand feels heavier, and when I look down, its button eyes are gone, replaced by dark, wet holes, like the lake staring back at me. Nathan's voice hums again, not from the walls this time, but from the bear, soft and pleading. Mommy, come find me. I drop it, backing away, but the water trail it left on the floor moves, spreading like veins, leading to the basement stairs. The hospital hums, the lights dimming, and I feel it, the sentinels, the rift, whatever's waiting down there. The clock ticks, but it's still 2:14, and I know I'm running out of time. If I don't choose, someone else will pay. I grab the bear again, its fur cold as death, and head for the stairs, the hospital bending around me, pulling me deeper into the dark. The basement stairs creak under my weight, each step sinking me deeper into the cold. Like I'm wading back into Lake Erie, Nathan's stuffed bear is in my hand, its wet fur dripping, the empty sockets where its eyes used to be staring up at me. The hospital's hum is gone, replaced by a low, pulsing thrum, like a heartbeat buried in the walls. The air smells of damp earth and copper, thicker now, clogging my throat. My phone's useless, still frozen at 2:14 a.m. The text, you can't leave until you choose, glowing every time I try to turn it off. I don't know how long I've been here, hours, days, but the snow outside hasn't moved, suspended in the air like a curse. I reach the bottom of the stairs, the psych ward door looming ahead, its crack leaking that sickly light. But it's the sound that stops me, a child's giggle, bright and sharp, cutting through the dark. Nathan's giggle, the one he'd let out when I'd chase him around the backyard, before everything broke. Mommy, he calls, his voice clear, close, coming from the vents above me. Come find me. My heart lurches, and I clutch the bear tighter, its water soaking through my scrubs. The vents rattle, the giggle echoing, moving deeper into the hospital's guts. I follow, my sneakers slipping on the wet tiles, the trail of water from the bear leading me toward the crack in the wall. The psych ward's door is open wider now, the light pulsing like a wound. Inside, the air's heavier, the smell of copper so strong I taste it. The giggle comes again, louder, from the vents overhead, and I tilt my flashlight, somehow working again toward the ceiling. The beam catches something moving, a shadow too small, too familiar. Darting through the ducts. Nathan, I whisper, my voice breaking. The giggle stops, replaced by a soft hum, the lullaby I sang to him every night. My knees buckle, and I lean against a rusted bed frame. Its metal cold as ice. The bear in my hand feels heavier, and when I look down, it's not water dripping anymore, it's blood, pooling on the floor, staining my shoes. I stumble toward the crack, the light inside it swirling, like water under moonlight. The vents hum again, Nathan's voice clearer now, singing, "Hush, little baby, don't say a word. I want to scream his name, to run to him, but my feet are rooted, the bear pulling me down like an anchor." The chart from before Evelyn Hart. Condition critical is on the floor again, though I don't remember picking it up. The handwriting's mine, but the words are new. Follow him, or lose him forever. The giggle returns, fainter, fading, and I know I have to move. I step toward the crack, the light swallowing my flashlight's beam, and Nathan's voice calls one last time. "Mommy, I'm here." The bear slips from my hand, splashing in the blood, and I step through the crack, the world tilting as the hospital falls away. The psych ward's crack is a wound now, wide enough to step through, the light inside shifting like water, blue and cold. I don't want to go closer, but Nathan's voice, his real voice, not the whisper from the vents, pulls me forward. "Mommy, I'm here," he says, and it's him. "My boy," his soft vowels and the way he stretched mommy into 2 long syllables. The bear's gone, lost in the puddle, but the footprints are still there, leading into the light. My hands shake, the red smudge on my palm glowing faintly, like it's alive. I step toward the crack, the air so cold it burns, and the hospital shifts around me. The walls bending, the floor tilting like I'm walking into a dream. I don't step through. Instead, the crack spits me out somewhere else, an autopsy room, sterile and bright. The smell of formaldehyde cutting through the coppery stench. I'm not in the basement anymore. This is upstairs. The morgue's surgical suite. But it's wrong. Too clean. The light's too steady. On the slab in the center is a body, covered by a sheet. My stomach twists. I know what's under it before I pull it back. I shouldn't, but I do. My hands moving like they belong to someone else. The sheet falls, and it's me. My face, pale and waxy, eyes half open, lips parted like I'm about to speak. Faint bruises circle my wrists, old scars from the night I tried to end it, the night I thought Nathan would forgive me if I followed him. The corpse's eyes snap open, and I scream, stumbling back into a tray of instruments, scalpels clattering to the floor. "You can't save him," it says, my voice, but hollow, like it's coming from underwater. Blood crusts under its nails, and its lips move again, slower. You already failed. I want to run, but the door's gone. The room shrinking, the walls pulsing like the crack in the psych ward. The corpse sits up, its head tilting, and I see Nathan's reflection in its eyes, standing by the lake, waving at me. I reach for him, but the corpse grabs my wrist, its grip cold as the morgue drawer, and pulls me closer. Choose. It whispers, and the room spins, the floor dropping away. I'm back in the hallway, gasping. The autopsy room gone. My wrist burns where the corpse touched me. The bruises darker now, fresh. The hospital's quiet again, but the clocks are still stuck at 2:14, and the snow outside hangs frozen, like time's laughing at me. My phone buzzes, and I don't want to look, but I do. The screen glows. One soul for Nathan. The red smudge on my hand pulses, and I hear the wet slap of footprints again, small and bare, leading back to the basement. I know what's waiting there, the rift. The sentinels. Nathan's voice. But the corpse's words echo louder. You already failed. I clutch my wrist, the pain grounding me, and head for the stairs, knowing I'm walking towards something I can't come back from. The basement stairs creak under my weight, each step pulling me deeper into the cold, where the air tastes of copper and decay. My wrist still burns from the corpse's grip, the bruises pulsing like a second heartbeat. The hospital's hum is gone, replaced by a low, rhythmic thrum, like the rift Dr. Klein spoke of is alive, waiting. Nathan's voice hasn't returned, but I feel him, his presence woven into the walls, the wet footprints glistening on the tiles ahead. I'm back at the psych ward door, room B13. Its crack wide enough now to swallow me whole, the sickly blue light spilling out like lake water. I don't want to go in, but my feet move, drawn by the promise of my son. Inside, the room's changed again. No bed frames, no charts, just a cavernous space, walls slick and pulsing. The crack now a gaping wound in the far wall. The John Doe stands before it, no longer gray and lifeless but upright, wearing a pristine white coat, his eyes black as the lake that took Nathan. He's not a patient, not a ghost. He's something else, something older. Evelyn Marie Whitaker, he says, his voice smooth, commanding, like a preacher delivering a sermon. You've kept us waiting. I step back, my sneakers slipping on the wet floor. Who are you? I ask, my voice shaking. He smiles, and it's wrong, too wide, too knowing. A herald, he says. I carry words from the other side. From Nathan, my heart lurches, and he steps closer, the light from the rift casting shadows that twist like hands. He's there, beyond the rift, happy, whole, but he needs you. He gestures to the crack, and I see it flashes of Nathan, running by a lake that shimmers under a sun I can't remember. He's laughing, his hair wet, waving at me like he did that day before everything broke. I clutch my wrist, the pain grounding me. What do you want? I whisper. The herald's smile fades, his eyes glinting. A soul for a soul, he says. Cross the rift. Join him, and the debt is paid. Or stay, and we take another, The air grows heavier, the thrum louder, and I feel them, the sentinels. Unseen but close, their presence like ice on my skin. The herald holds out a chart, my chart. The words Evelyn Hart, pending scrawled in red. Choose, he says, and the rift pulses. Nathan's laughter echoing through it, pulling at my heart. I step forward, the lake's reflection shimmering in the crack. But the herald's hand stops me. Not yet, he says. You need to see. The room spins, and I'm back in the ER. The transition's so sudden I stumble, catching myself on a gurney. The herald's gone, but Nathan's laughter lingers, faint, fading. My chart's on the gurney, open to a new page. One soul, or another. The red smudge on my hand glows, and I know what he meant. I can't save Nathan without losing myself or someone else. The hospital's silent. The clock's still frozen at 2:14, and I feel the rifts pull. Even here, calling me back. The ER is a graveyard. Empty beds and scattered charts. The air thick with the weight of something waiting. My chart's still in my hands. The words, one soul, or another burning into me. The red smudge on my palm pulses like a wound, and the bruises on my wrist are darker, spreading like ink. I try to move, to find Sarah or Patel, but the hallways twist, looping back to the nurse's station, where the clock mocks me with 2:14. The snow outside is still frozen, hanging in the air, and my phone buzzes again, the screen glowing. Choose, or we will. I delete it, but the words reappear, brighter, angrier. Shadows move in the corners, not quite human, their edges blurred like smoke. They're the sentinels, the ones Klein warned me about, and their whispers crawl through the air, soft but relentless. You owe us a soul, they say, their voices overlapping, a chorus of the dead. I see faces in the dark patients I couldn't save, their eyes accusing, the intern who quit after a bad code, his hands still bloody. Nathan, his face pale, his lips mouthing mommy. They press closer, their touch like frostbite, and I stumble back, clutching the chart like a shield. I didn't mean to, I say, but the words are weak, drowned by their whispers. You left him, they hiss. You owe. I run, the hallways stretching, doors vanishing. The shadows follow, their whispers growing louder, sharper, until they're screaming in my head. I trip, falling to my knees, and the chart scatters, pages fluttering like dead leaves. One lands in front of me, a photo clipped to it, not Nathan, not me, but Sarah, the charge nurse, her face pale, eyes blank. The words below, Sarah Miller, 2:14 a.m., pending. My stomach lurches. They'll take her if I don't choose. I scramble to my feet, the shadows closing in, their cold fingers brushing my arms, my neck. One soul, they whisper, and I see Nathan again, in the shadows, his hand reaching for me. I'm at the basement stairs again, the psych ward door open, the rifts light brighter, hungrier. The herald's voice echoes from below, calm but unyielding. Choose, Evelyn. The shadows press closer, their whispers now a roar, and I feel Nathan's presence, so close I could touch him. The chart in my hand is heavy, Sarah's name glowing red, and I know what they want. My life, or hers. My son, or my friend. The rift hums, the lake shimmering beyond it, and Nathan's voice calls again, soft, pleading, "Mommy, please." I step toward the stairs, the shadows tightening their grip, and I know I'm running out of time. The basement stairs descend into darkness, each step colder, the air thick with the coppery tang of blood and the sweet rot of flowers. The chart with Sarah's name burns in my hand, the red smudge on my palm pulsing like a warning. The shadows, the sentinels, follow me, their whispers a low hum, their icy fingers brushing my neck, my arms, urging me toward room B13. Nathan's voice is louder now, not from the vents, but from the rift itself, that gaping wound in the psych ward's wall, its blue light shimmering like the lake where I lost him. "Mommy!" "I'm here," he calls, and it's his voice, his real voice, the one that used to beg for one more bedtime story. My chest aches, the guilt I've carried for 4 years clawing at me. I reach the door, the rift's light blinding, the thrum of the hospital vibrating in my bones. The herald stands there, his white coat pristine, his black eyes unblinking. "You can bring him back," he says, his voice steady, almost kind. "Cross the rift. Pay the debt." He's waiting. He gestures to the crack, and I see Nathan again, clear now, running by the lake, his hair wet, his laugh bright. He turns, waves, his smile so alive it breaks me. But the chart in my hand shifts, Sarah's name glowing brighter, and the sentinel's whispers sharpen. One soul, or another. I clutch the chart, my bruised wrist throbbing. What happens if I don't? I ask, my voice barely audible. The herald's smile is gone, his face hard. "We take what's owed, Sarah, or another." The rift doesn't close until the debt is paid. The shadows press closer, their touch like needles, and I see her, Sarah, standing in the ER upstairs, unaware, her laughter from earlier tonight echoing in my head. She has a daughter, a life, a reason to keep going. I think of Nathan, of the 2 minutes I looked away, the phone call that cost me everything. I could see him again, hold him, tell him I'm sorry. But the price is me or her. The rift pulses, the lake beyond it rippling. Nathan's voice louder, pleading, "Mommy, please." I step closer, the light swallowing me, the air so cold it burns. The herald holds out a hand, and I see something in his palm, Nathan's toy bear. Dry now, its button eyes back, staring at me. "Take it," he says. "Cross over." My fingers tremble as I reach for it, but the chart in my other hand feels heavier. Sarah's name, a weight I can't ignore. The sentinels hiss, their voices a chorus of rage, and the rift flares. Nathan's face clearer, his hand reaching for mine. I want to go to him, to fix what I broke, but Sarah's face flashes in my mind, her daughter's smile, and I hesitate. The herald's eyes narrow. "Choose now," he says, "or we choose for you." I drop the chart, my knees weak, and the rift's light dims. Nathan's voice fading. The bear in the herald's hand is wet again, dripping, and I feel the lake pulling me, the guilt pulling me, The sentinels closing in. I don't know if I can save him, or if I'm already lost. But I know I can't let Sarah pay for my mistakes. I step back, the rift's pull weakening, and the herald's face twists. Not anger, but something worse, pity. "You'll regret this," he says, and the shadows scream, the rift flaring one last time before the room goes dark. I'm back in the ER. The transition so sudden I collapse against the nurse's station, my breath ragged. The chart with Sarah's name is gone. My hand's empty, but the red smudge on my palm is still there, fainter now, like it's fading with the rift's light. The hospital's quiet. The clock's still stuck at 2:14, but the shadows are gone. The sentinel's whispers silent. My wrist aches. The bruise is dark, but no longer spreading. I don't know how I got here, or if I ever left, but the air feels lighter, like the hospital's holding its breath. I stumble to the desk, my hands shaking as I grab a discharge form, the kind we use for patients going home. My name's already on it, Evelyn Hart in my handwriting. The date blank. I don't question it. I fill in the details. Discharged to eternity. 2:14 a.m. My signature flows easily, the pen steady despite the tremor in my chest. I think of Nathan, his laugh, his hand reaching for me in the rift. I think of Sarah, safe upstairs, her daughter waiting for her. I made a choice, but I don't know if it was the right one. The form feels heavy, final, and when I set it down, it vanishes, the desk clean, like it was never there. The lights brighten, the hum of the hospital returning, soft but steady. I walk to Trauma Bay 1, the gurney empty, the John Doe's chart gone, the monitors off, the screen dark, and the air smells of antiseptic again, not copper or decay. I check my phone too, 15 a.m., the time finally moving. The text message is gone. The snow outside is falling again, no longer frozen, blanketing the world in white. I feel Nathan's absence like a hole in my chest, but the rift's pull is gone. The herald's voice silent. I don't know if I saved him or lost him forever, but I know I couldn't let Sarah take my place. I head for the break room, my steps heavy, the hospital coming back to life around me. Sarah's there, charting, her smile tired but real. She doesn't ask where I've been, doesn't seem to notice anything's wrong. I want to tell her, to warn her, but the words won't come. The bear's gone, the footprint's gone, the rift sealed at least for now. I sit, my hands folded, the red smudge on my palm, barely a shadow. The hospital hums, and I wonder if I'm still here, or if I signed myself away in that form, discharged to a place I can't name. The break room door swings shut behind me, and the hospital snaps back to life. Like a held breath finally released, the fluorescent lights hum. The snow outside falls steadily, blanketing Pennsylvania in quiet white. It's morning 6:03 a.m., according to the clock above the nurse's station. The first time I've seen it move past 2:14 in what feels like forever. My scrubs are dry, the red smudge on my palm gone. The bruises on my wrist faded to faint shadows. Sarah's charting at the desk, her pen scratching, oblivious to the rift, the herald, the choice I made. I want to ask her if she's okay, if she feels it, the weight of what almost happened, but my voice stays locked in my throat. A new nurse, young, her badge reading K. Bennett steps into the ER, her eyes scanning the bays. She pauses at bed 3, where the John Doe sat hours ago, now empty, the sheets crisp and untouched. "Who was on this one?" she asks, flipping through a chart. Sarah shrugs. Not looking up. "Nobody. Been quiet all night." I open my mouth to correct her, to say I was here, that I saw him, heard him, but the words dissolve. I check the system, my fingers trembling on the keyboard. No record of a John Doe. No intake at 2:14 a.m. No Evelyn Hart in the staff log. My locker's empty. My name tag gone. I stumble to the basement stairs, my heart pounding. The psych ward door is sealed. No crack, no light, just cold concrete. On the floor, half hidden in shadow, is Nathan's stuffed bear, damp with lake water, its button eyes glinting. Next to it, a blank chart, a humane single word, Nathan. I pick them up, my hands shaking, and the hospital falls silent. The air heavy. Nobody comes. I'm alone. I drive home through the snow, the bear on the passenger seat, its wet fur soaking the leather. My apartment's empty. No trace of me in the photos on the fridge, just Tom and Nathan, smiling. I sit on the couch, clutching the bear, and whisper, "I'm sorry." The lake takes my voice, and nobody answers. The hospital never calls, never asks where I went. It's like I was never there.